Welcome into the Thursday edition, July 7th, 7/7. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks for stopping by and joining us. We are finally done with our M&Ms. They're all gone. The bag is empty. And we're going to talk about the rest of July. If you didn't catch the last, 3 days, I guess, we've been talking about this. Mars, Mercury, and the Moon, all with their sign changes, with just interesting stuff. While we're on the Moon, let's talk about the full moon. It will occur on the 13th in Capricorn, then the new moon after that, the 28th, in Leo. We do have two big stations retrograde this month. First of all, Chiron on the 19th. Then Jupiter, just after that new moon, will station retrograde in Aries. So we've already seen, Jupiter is expanding these things that are in Aries. This tension, I think, is being expanded. So we'll get a break from that as it moves back toward Pisces, cleans up some business in Pisces the end of the year, and then in late December, back into Aries for its full transit. So Chiron on the 19th, Jupiter on the 28th. That Chiron retrograde is not an insignificant thing either, by the way. Just like the outers, it's a long retrograde, goes all the way to December 23rd. You know, Chiron, maybe we'll just stop here for a second. I swear I will get through July before the 31st. I promise we will. But, we just stop here for a second and think about this, because there's so much inner work being going on right now. And have you noticed how the pace of everything is picking up? And, I'm hearing that people are needing more sleep. And even when Chiron goes retrograde, look at age 50, around 50, either side of, is the Chiron return in all of our charts. When mine returned, that was really the big trigger of everything that collapsed my old empire and rebuilt everything from the ground up. It wasn't off of the Saturn returns. However, Saturn was very instrumental in the changes, but it was off of that Chiron return. Going in and healing those wounds that we have carried with us for so long. Isn't it time to let go of the baggage? So as it turns retrograde for the second half of this year, we already have a lot of stuff coming up that's astrologically this fall is going to be very interesting. So let's just add to what we built on yesterday in the podcast, that moon in Libra symbolism of that chart etched on our minds, that we are doing this soul work and we are allowing what's there to come up. Also self-care. So if you need sleep, sleep. If you need some extra space, ask your partner for a little extra space, ensuring them that nothing is wrong, that you just need some time to process this. And hopefully your partner is on the same page with you. Either they might need it as well, or certainly being in full support and awareness of what's going on. If they aren't, refer them to the podcast or turn it up when you get in the car. Make them listen to it. We'll get them covered. But, maybe that's one of the things as we're anticipating this that begins here in July as Jupiter turns inward, Chiron turns inward. We really are setting up the second half of this year. It might be more brave to face the inner work than it will be to face all this stuff going on in our world. Because I believe that the light workers are going to be preserved, at least according to the plan. So for all of us, the greater work might be the inward work, and I certainly have my own fair share of shadows to deal with as well, and they come up all the time. All right, couple of ingresses to note. July 17th, Venus moves into Cancer. That'll be some nice energy. It's a little smoothness to help grease the skids for these retrogrades. And then on the 19th, Mercury slides into Leo. Now, Leo is one of Mercury's grumpy signs, so we'll be watching that. It's grumpy because Mercury is in exaltation in Aquarius, Aquarius being opposite Leo. That's how we get there. I like the idea of not acknowledging these detriments and falls and exaltations and all that until we saw what happened when Mars moved into Taurus this week. We have to consider the full spectrum of all of these possibilities because they can all show up. I sure am glad, though, that the universe gave us that picture of Moon in Libra. That's etched on my mind, I'll tell you. All right, then one more ingress, of course, the Sun moving into, speaking of Leo, on the 22nd. Now, maybe one other date that we might circle, and that's the 26th, and that is the only other hard aspect with Mars. And I'm just picking on Mars because it was so active here this week as it moved into Taurus. So it definitely showed its mettle. That aspect on the 26th is Mercury squaring Mars. So a week after Mercury moves into Leo, there is that square with Mars. But we'll pick that apart, just something else to circle. And just remember, toward the later part of the month, that will be there. We'll keep track of everything else, of course, along the way. Thank you so much. This has been, wow, what a setup to this month. Incredible. Aren't we supposed to be on, like, summer break or something? Hey, come see me in August. Yeah, come on up. Check out the funastrology.com website. Right at the top, the red banner will give you all the information. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.